Oh yeah!
Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Planet Coaster 2 with Cookie Pirate. We're doing a little bit of an early stream. Today we're in the Tropical Park, kind of continuing what we have been doing the last few days in here. Got a little bit of a fireworks show at night to start out. And let's just see kind of all what's going on. Swimming pool 12 is unsafe? What? Why? Well, we've got lifeguards in all of these chairs, so the green light tells you that the post is, occupied. Okay, that's a weird little bug. We've got good coverage. 99%, safety. Yeah, that should be totally fine. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. Now, if a lifeguard post is empty, like there's not somebody, like there's not a lifeguard at the chair or the stand or whatever, you would see a red light indicating that. Now, all of these are green, so I really don't know why that popped up. Let's try to get these taken care of. Call maintenance. Yeah, let's get these cleaned up. Call janitor. Let's get that taken care of. Let's get that cleaned. Hey, Shem, how are ya? Oh, you changed your name! I just recognized the tan S icon. Only 6 p.m. What's going on? Yeah, I know, I made it on early. Said, you know what, I feel like doing an early stream today. Let's get these cleaned up as well. That one's not as bad, but... Alright, that's all taken care of. Get the fireworks show. Bow, 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 bow. Show's almost over. That maintenance mechanic just took off running across the footpath going over there. We were to come up just a little bit, trying to angle to get a view of the... I guess we maybe won't be able to see it, but you can tell the moonlight is pretty high up. Would love to do some work in this area. Probably gonna relocate the fireworks to maybe the back of the park or something. And that's going to be the end of the day right there. $1,101,000 of profit. We're making good money. And we've had a few people miss their breaks. We need to address that because that happened last time too. Well, we can just go ahead and leave the lights fixed. 2 rides had few guests using them, but it doesn't tell you which 2. I don't know. We'd have to go back through and look. What is this pool? Oh, that's for the water slides. Okay. That is a lot of people missing their brakes. She's not too happy. I want to get her some stuff. Well, he's not a very happy shark. Oh, man. Well, that's no good. She's miserable. That's not good. He's miserable. Oh, man. Well, I want to try to keep our people. Alright, I'm not going to go through all of them, but we're going to address that. Just adding some additional staff facilities. Let's do that there. Okay. So there's a pretty good amount of activity over here. We may need a larger staff facility, or we may need to stagger their breaks. Maybe we could add one. We don't have a lot of room over here. Would be cool to kind of try to incorporate one somewhere over here. Hey, Alexander, welcome. I think we definitely need one over here. Given the additional shops and stuff that we've added, there's a fair bit of activity over here. So we can find a space to add a staff facility. Or maybe even perhaps like right over here. Where they don't have to go quite as far. But I'm thinking of what I might want to do with this area in terms of developing it. Giving them a pay raise temporarily helps. But the problem is if they miss their breaks, they're just going to get kind of frustrated again. So making sure they have their breaks is essential. Actually, if we go into heat maps and take a look at staff, hey, all the pay is average. I haven't changed any of that, but we've got so it's not terrible throughout here, but it's definitely suffering a little bit. But I need to find the red is the most urgent to address. Pretty unhappy there. A bit unhappy in some of these areas, so we definitely need to add. Probably with all of the extra janitors and security guards we've added, that's a bit of a concern. So we'll make sure that they get the facilities that they need. How do I make the power stuff look better and more hidden? So you've got a few options. The easiest thing you can do, let's just go in, grab a power distributor. Although if you go into the custom ones, I'll give you a little tip. These are cheaper this way because they don't have the scenery pieces. So take the distributor from the custom pieces and not the blueprint. And just slide it underground, then it's completely out of mind, out of sight. And you can still connect them. Just be careful because the more that you lower it under the ground, it does cover a smaller area on the ground. So at ground level or very close to it, you actually get the best coverage. So don't put it too far under. That's the easiest. If you want to keep it above ground for realism, I definitely recommend using the blueprint. So add that somewhere. Screen it with some trees. Maybe some walls, some other scenery pieces. Place it in areas that are pretty inconspicuous. So, for example, if you're placing one to power a coaster, a good idea is to maybe place it underneath the station if you don't have, like, queues running or, you know, shops and stuff. So, well, no, this one does have queues running underneath it. But you can hide it underneath a building or within one if there's not public access to it stuff. I like the underground method the best. It is good to be on early. It's a nice little change of pace. I just wondered, and I don't put too much emphasis on turnout, but it is nice to have a good turnout, and I thought perhaps by getting on early, then it would be a good opportunity to draw more people in if they're not, like, having to go to bed soon, or in Europe or something where it's already late. But I also thought most of my viewers are used to me being on in the afternoon, or I'm sorry, the late afternoon or early evening. Or even late evening, just depending on the night. So I kind of have the anticipation that not a lot of people that are usually watching are going to be here, which is fine, as much as I like having them here. I might do another stream of this tonight. I'm not 100% sure. Your recording software broke? I'd like to try to get a little bit better ridership on this. We just need more stuff over here. Probably this coaster is going to get relocated back here. We're going to turn this into a separate area of the park. Let's refurbish that. Probably refurbish this as well. Gonna be a little bit of a delay in the next train. Okay. Now, let's go in here and focus on staff facilities. That's pretty important. We're gonna shut this down after this cycle here, and we're gonna get rid of that. We might be able to create like a little food court plaza or something. I don't think we're gonna have any rides. But this is actually a good location for a staff room that would cover all of this over here and this over here. It's not too far of a walk. And then I want to decide what we want to do with this area over here. I actually think we may have room for a new coaster, perhaps back here. And we can develop the this side of the park. Alright, sorry, just had to check something real quick. Alright, with that closed, we're gonna go ahead and tear it up. That might actually be able to leave me the footbridge, and we could slap a few buildings around here, a couple shops. Some food and drink, a staff facility. Alright, so let's do this. Ah. Come on. I'm gonna tuck that right there in the back. I actually am going to tear this up right here, so we'll leave the staircase in place. Won't let us multi-select here. Dale, what's going on, man? This is early stream. Park's looking great as usual. The Bears are on. I'm trying to watch both. You killing me? Well, I hope you get 2 wins, but you got 1 win because you turned into this stream. 2, I should say. Yeah, hopefully you get a win there. Oh, this is actually too big for this plot of land right here, so we'll go down to the stamp scale 2. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if we place it here, that might work, but then we're really not going to have room for stuff over on this side. Maybe if we do something a little different with the bridge. Let's just see what we can come up with. Maybe kind of like that. Yeah, we really need a stamp size 3 to fit a bunch of medium shops and stuff. We could do individual small shops. Some food over here. Let's just try a couple things. See, that is too large. Size 1 actually fits perfectly. Offset just a little bit. Or how do these small staff facility buildings compare? Yeah, they're more linear. That would be back to the water. Now, we could do a little bit of terrain work out this way. We've got the room for it. Alright, so tell you what we're going to do. We're actually going to change that We're gonna delete the stamp. I am going to force place a stamp scale 3 typical octagon. And I think we'll actually line it up with the first drop here on this Kraken coaster. If we wanted to get ultra realistic, we could actually add some fences and stuff. But let's just do that. That's a footprint for reference. Probably won't be able to add much there, but we can definitely add some stuff over here. So what I'm going to do is next come into the scenery brush. Demolish brush rather, and it's set only for the scenery. And we're gonna tear a few things up, not too much. Some stuff in the immediate vicinity right here. Take the water out, and we're gonna take this flat into foundation. And we're just going to smooth the terrain up immediately over here. And build the terrain up. That'll give us a little bit room for some buildings and a little extra scenery. Right behind all of this right here. Alright, that should be sufficient. And we can actually indent this a little bit right here. Hey, Ashley. Check what's going on in your park. I'm reading there are pickpockets going on. Yeah! Alright, that's taken care of. Yep, that actually tends to happen a lot when you have the crime turned on. There's a lot of pickpockets. You probably just need a little bit more security, and it's better than it was. Definitely does need a little bit of work. I'm trying not to have too much of what Dale calls a ghetto park. Let's go with samples for that. Push that back a little bit. This is crime-ridden park and Cookie Pirate lets the crime run rampant. Come on, Dale! Fake news! Lies! Slander! So we're gonna pull this up back here. Lower that in a moment. Let's get all of this underneath kind of filled back in. Hey Maria. I've got an idea for a ride specifically for pickpocketers. A catapult out of the park. One of those slingshots. Oh, that'd be so funny. But in my park, they get ejected from the park, so he needs to fix that. Yeah, see, we pushed that just a little bit too high up. Yeah, see, they should be getting kicked out. Pickpocket has been caught and ejected. Those right there. Let's get that restroom cleaned. Needs to build a huge hole, and then he puts the criminals in the hole so they're trapped. No, because then I'll get all the notices that people are stuck trying to reach a park exit and can't. I'm going to flush that out. A little bit better there. Yeah, a lot of guests are reporting pickpocketing. So, if I go into the staff view up here, let me just minimize those. I've got a whole ton of here we go, security guards. I've got a whole list of them. Well, a couple of them are a little bit unhappy. So, if we go into the heat map and take a look at security coverage, I think part of it for me is because I don't have a lot of security cameras. I do have a good number of guards, and you can see them roaming all over the place. But there probably are some considerable gaps on some of the busy footpath, like out around here and stuff. So maybe adding some cameras would help, but also, if a camera catches something and there's not a guard, like in the immediate, or I should say not immediate, but in relatively close proximity, then they're probably going to get away. Pay them more. Alright, tell you what, let's add a few extra guards. Get them roaming. It's really not too much traffic, foot traffic going on over there. See, that time a crime has actually been caught on camera, which is, well, not good in the sense that a crime has occurred, but if it does, it's good to be caught on camera. So a few extra guards there. Vandal has been ejected. Oh yeah, right in here. Okay, let's get that fixed. They get paid 100 more a month if they do their job. Yeah. I'm trying to look at this in my park. I'm making my fireworks show and my new parade. So, I actually have a fireworks show in this park if you want me to, show you kind of how to set it up. I could definitely do so. With that there, let's actually... let's go with that there. Just lower this terrain a bit, that way the water... ah, we're gonna have like a deep kind of trench. Alright, add the water back, and that's pretty good. So now we've got a larger square where we can set some more facilities and stuff in place. And we'll add some fences right here along with the coaster. Alright, so Ashley, I'll show you the fireworks. Right here are just the different stacks of fireworks that I have. So, you only need one per type that you want to use. They can launch multiple times. They do have a little bit of a time delay. But basically, you'll want one of these sequencers here. And then if you go into that, they've got the park speakers. And then down here are all of your fireworks. The different ones, and then kind of the timing of them and stuff like that. So play around with it, just adjust them, you know, to make sure that they go off at the time that you want. Speakers are good if you want to play some music during the show. Just make sure you have enough for what you want to launch, but you don't have to, like, if you want to launch 20 of these, for example, you don't have to have 20 of them. Just, you can see how long they take, so about 7 seconds. So you can launch this same one every 7 seconds or so. It's not tough to do once you get the hang of it. It's got a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad. I'm just closing one of my rides for maintenance. I have 7 mechanics coming. That's a lot. They're going to get that taken care of pretty quickly there. So. Alright, let's go into here. Oh. I want to level this out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is run a curved path right here up to the staircase to tie that in. Now we've got room to add. Oops. You know what actually we should do is place the blueprint first. We can actually place it just a little bit off. Now we'll go in, attach the staff building. Ah, come on. There we go. Now we'll pick the whole thing up and snap it into place on the path there. That's all at ground level, so that's good. And now we can do a couple other things. Maybe a small shop. Or we could do a medium shop on this corner. Might have to remove just a little bit of scenery over there, that's fine. So we'll place that back over here and pull those. Let's give a food and a drink option. Let me look and see what I have. Try to balance it out a little bit. Hey, Jimpers, how are you? What in the world? Oh, come on. Somebody broke that. Let's clean these up. Nine o'clock in the morning in your park. Alright. This is bugged. What in the world? Unless they're counting as... No. Alright, that's a weird bug. Food and drink shops are not showing up, and I know I have a ton of those all throughout the park, so... What the heck? Alright, well... I guess we're just gonna add whatever. Let's do a Heya Sushi. We'll add that here. And let's go with a... slush hour. Yeah, sushi and slushy. How about that? And we'll just pull those and attach them right there. They snap into place. And then we have a little bit of room left. We could add a small... Oh, that takes up too much. It doesn't right there, but we may have to do a little bit of terrain work. Let's add the restroom itself. Oops. Let's add that first. And we'll add the scenery piece. And that snaps right in place. We do have a couple floating pieces here. Actually, that all is attached to the ground relatively well. Now, terrain is a little bit tough to modify right next to the water. Bye, going to my mom's birthday. Alright, well, have a great afternoon. I appreciate you hanging out. And, yeah, hope your mom has a great birthday. Hope you all enjoy it. Yeah, there's a little bit that we're not going to be able to really bring up to level because of the water. So if we take that out and do that right around this. Yeah, there we go. Is that at the right level? Yeah, I think it is. Alright. Since we have this giant little plaza here, This is actually a good opportunity. See how that lines up. Oh, it's a little bit off. That's how much of a perfectionist I really am. Try to center it just a little bit better. Kind of tough eyeballing it. Ooh, that is actually pretty good right there. Alright. Let's get these open. Strawberry Jam, how are ya? Alright, maybe we could add something else right over here. What am I working on? Right now, we're making a little bit of a plaza just with some food and drink options, a restroom, staff room, in place of the top spin that just was really getting no activity. So hopefully this will encourage some people to come over here and take advantage of some facilities. Now, we do have a few shops and stuff over here, but this will provide a little bit of a kind of a rest area, a scenic area as well. Maybe one more. I don't know if I'm going to have the room for it. Small shop front. Oh, that fits okay. Yep. So what I'll do is actually place a... We'll go with that there. Let's go with some sort of souvenirs. Just a memento. Hat's fantastic. I think we'll do a just a memento. I don't think we have many of those. Add to resort shop. Oh gosh. Oh, that messed up the plaza. Well... Alright, let me put it there. Shoot. Let me undo all of that. Actually, we set it right there. Come back in. Attach it. And move the whole thing. And now that fits into place perfectly. Don't have a lot of people. Yeah. Not really anybody turning over this way to come out here. So we'll see. Maybe this is for nothing other than the staff facility. Maybe it might just be better to slap a staff facility down over here and just turn that into pretty scenery or something. I don't know. Yep, we'll have to look at that. Oh, Ashley, welcome back. It's a small staff room over there. We probably need one over here. Alright, who's stuck? Really? The other thing that we could potentially do is... set up some sort of a flat ride over here for people to get to. But this just feels a little bit too branched off and segmented. So I'm not totally sure that we're going to stick with that. We might just place a medium staff room like right here next to the restrooms. Yeah, because so far nobody's coming over here. Alright, we definitely need a staff room over here. Don't have a whole ton of room for one, but we could definitely put a small one over here. Easily right there. Okay. So this is going to be much easier. Take those. That works. Easy enough. And I think these were two of the biggest problem areas. Yeah, not a single person is coming up over here. Oh, nope, we got one now. Everybody else is just employees. Oh wait, we did have a small group make their way over here. Now we could reduce some of the terrain over here down to the water and build this out and have a flat ride. Maybe we should try something like that, but it's gonna depend on how many people make their way over here. With as busy as this gets, I just don't think there's enough guest activity to justify that. The ride wasn't doing anything. This is... Can you fix the curbs from the other connection point? Where at? Just a second here. Gonna step up real quick. The other hexagon. Not there. Over here? Oh. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. So those aren't actually curves, I'm pretty sure. What that is the boundary between where there is and is not a path foundation. Oh, it took up all the railings. Alright, we'll put those back in a minute. Yeah, removing the foundation is the way to do that. Right there where it changes, I think, is a good boundary for that. Alright, let's put these railings back in. My OCD is happy now. Good. Alright. Yeah. It's almost completely staff members coming over here, so... Alright, tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get rid of all of this. Little bit of a waste of time, but at least we know. I'm gonna pause this and tear all of this up. All of the staff members will respawn. Let's actually just do the multi-select tool, grab these benches. Right here we'll place a medium-sized flat ride needed. No, we had the flat ride there and it was just getting no attention whatsoever, so we pulled it up. And this is getting even less, so. Alright. Okay, there. Snap that in place right there. And what we can actually do with this right here is just scenery. Alright, let's do a little bit of macro environment work. Let's take all of that down. Give this just a little bit of a small kind of mountain or hill appearance here. Top it with some rocks and trees and call it a day. Don't need to do anything too fancy over here. Let's get the water back in place. Actually come right down here where it's a little easier to see. Yep, that's right, so we're good. Rock around the edges right here. Let's actually turn that up. And Jimpers, you still around? Set about a 40% intensity for this here. Kind of just shade over this. Blend some of the grass and rock terrain. You are. Awesome. Hey, I'm thinking of something to fit in this area here. Terrain can be worked with a little bit, but a relatively small footprint. You have an idea of what might be a good coaster option over here? If you want to create something, I'd be willing to use it, or you could give me a suggestion. let's actually go into the scenery brush and just do this now. Well, no, you know what? We'll do the rocks first. Yeah, that'd be really cool if you wanted to. Let me just look and see kind of maybe what type I would want. Of course you would have. Alright, is that enough rocks? Alright, there we go. That's kind of blended into all of that better. Here's a cool B&M sit-down I made if you want to check it out. I suggest the usual. I love B&M sit-downs, absolutely. Give me the code. Oh shoot, I forgot the code. I just spilled my drink on my lap. Fantastic. Okay. Place needs a themed up water coaster. That could actually be really fun. Alright, Orca saved. Let's go into a new one. I'll grab the code and I love B&M sit downs. Well, the one. Only one I've been on is Kumba. Unfortunately, when I was at Islands of Adventure, we didn't get to go on the Hulk. Alright, here we go. Okay. Let's give this a ride. Wow. I definitely get a little bit of Kumba vibes from that. Probably because of the sequence of inversions. The vertical loop, the dive loop, the 0G roll, and then instead of a Cobra roll, though, you get this really cool Batwing, which is very nicely profiled. Run up into the mid-course, and instead of 2 interlocking corkscrews, you get 2 of them back-to-back. And then a helix at the end. So that is pretty interesting. I like that. Good stats overall. The minimum vertical G is 0. So yeah, you don't really get airtime. But then again, B&M loopers are not made for airtime. They're made for those really fun, intense, positive G moments. The only unique thing about this is the double corkscrew. No, I would say the Batwing is relatively unique. I can't think of any B&M sit-down loopers, or floorless coasters even for that matter, that have a Batwing. Almost all of them go with a Cobra roll. I like it though. It's relatively small and compact, but interesting enough. So thanks for sharing that. I don't know, it might be a little bit too large, but I was gonna say I might be able to squeeze that into a plot somewhere in the tropical park, but let's go back into that. I'm actually gonna take a quick break. Let me get the park loaded in, and I'm gonna step up real quick here. Alright, let's get these taken care of. There we go. Alright. Zoom into the sign right here. I'll be right back. Alright, hang on just a sec, folks.
Imondal Mulithvara.
Come on, not Moby.
Hello, no before.
Oh, after up on my factor.
No, Bara Papapino Quebas es
L.A.O. Siamane Janelindo.
Saparastov Nesuapis. Pedasa. Mubala Pella Yunkia.
Dimula Zamerta Portella.
Jano Duno Belmeleni.
Puri stars a ramen. Idorma.
Jano tu.
Ue plus o kisomitin. No bada fokuma. Nube soze onda.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, so something over here in this plot, I mean, we can pull that scenery up, and we can rework a little bit of the water over here if we need to. But I'm thinking something small, relatively compact. It can be a little bit larger than this Gerstlauer right there. Let me just go in and see what different coasters we have. Surf. That's the wooden coaster. No, that's the Gerstlauer, I think. Mine Train, of course. Alright, Ashley, have a great evening, alright? Or afternoon. I'm so used to saying evening. RMC, B&M Hyper, that's the Intamin Impulse. Floorless, Dive, Wild Mouse, and that is the wooden coaster. I don't have a real solid, like, invert. I mean, we've got the Impulse, which is an invert coaster, but that's not really the same. I thought about, you know, adding like a full-sized B&M or Vekoma invert. In terms of Vekoma, it would be an SLC. Alright, hold on here. Water coaster. I mean, we could do a water coaster somewhere. Hey Ashley, welcome back. We'll have to come up with something over there. Hey, aha, ooh, hey, aha, oh, what are you all doing? Yeah, I think we're gonna tear most of this up. just looking around it, how I might want to set this up over here. So this, of course, has been established as the pirate area, but it's so underdeveloped. Let's do some terrain work over here while I'm thinking about it. Ah! Why did it do that? That was weird. No, we need to pull, not push. Turn that up. Fill this in completely here. Sculpt this out a little bit better. Maybe a smaller brush right down here to bring some of that out there. Hey, Salmon Khan, how are you? I'm doing okay, thanks. Let's kind of flesh out some of this a little bit here. Not really worried about the paint yet, we'll deal with that. Try to level some of that out. I'm not too fond of when these like cliff sides get inverted, so to speak, but I mean on occasion it's okay, but when you get these giant crevices that are just indented, it doesn't look very refined to me. It's like back here, push that in a bit. We've got the tunnel right through here. I mean, that's maybe okay. Although we could probably pull some of that in. Let's see how we would do that. Right down through here. Yeah, although now it's closing it over the tracks. That's what we don't want. A lot of progress since the last time you were here. Yeah. I haven't really spent much time on this park, but the last few days I've been kind of focusing on it, and we're making some really good progress. I actually do kind of like the evenness of this wide tunnel. So I think what we'll do is just actually paint it over. We could maybe try shading it a little bit with some moss. Actually may look better over here. Whoops. Little bit of a misclick. Sculpt over it that way. There we go. Oh, this is catching my eye right here. This should be rock and not grass. Let's maybe fix this a little bit while I'm looking at it. Turn that up all the way. That's a lot of moss. Where the hover roll comes up over. Rock over that. Ah, there we go. Whoa! Ah! What is that doing? There we go. We're out of that. Alright, maybe some more rock kind of on the side of this here. Trees are in the way a little bit. Okay, that's a bit better. Now we have a few options for this area over here. We could kind of widen this cavern a little bit. I do want to do something with the edge of this here. Maybe just kind of bring it all together out here. Give this a little bit more of an appearance of a gorge. Probably gonna get off in the next like 30 minutes or so, just to grab a bite to eat, take a break, especially since I do plan on streaming later on this evening. I do need a little bit of time to get some stuff done before then. It's been nice doing a mid-afternoon stream though. It's a nice change of pace. Especially since the Bears are on. I hope they win today for you. See that blended all together there. I'm gonna go with a large brush just to indent some of that, kind of smooth out some of the That's a bit better. And if we want to flatten this out up here, we could do that. This raised ledge actually could be useful for something. So let's actually just tie all of this together here without interfering with the tunnel for the coaster here. That is a little bit interesting here. We're actually going to do this here. Alright, maybe something like that, and then we can kind of refine this a little bit. Thunder Mountain. Haha, that would be neat. Gemstones in the bottom cave? Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, I mean... let's come back out over here. That could actually fit this pretty well, even though it's not tropical. It is kind of a little bit of a niche area of the park. And I mean, to be fair, in tropical areas of the world, you do find some gem mining and stuff like that. So it could be potentially a really good opportunity for some theming. Also, just to give a little bit of a change of pace. They light up at night. Yeah, that is true. There's that. That's a bit better fixed up. actually going to draw this out over here just to kind of tie in a little bit more evenly. I don't like that there. Alright, there we go. That's pretty good so far. Now, we have the ability to build some things up here if we can provide reasonable access for guests. Alright, let's see here. It's gonna be in the sorcery theme, I think. Yep. And we've got a few different options for crystals. Well, and you can change the color of them too. But you could go with... I'm thinking for the tropical theme, I mean emeralds and sapphires. Green and blue. And it actually would kind of blend in well with the pirate area, because if you think about pirates stealing like treasure, hey, emeralds and sapphires are pretty valuable, so... Mine train, water coaster, flying auditorium, go-karts. Alright, we already have a mine train. Water coaster is a possibility. Flying auditorium is a possibility. Go-karts we did, and they were not popular. Almost nobody was riding them, so I don't think we're gonna do that one. We could definitely do some sort of a flying auditorium somewhere. But I'm thinking, what do we want to do with this area up top? Change the colors to the gemstones. Yeah, you can. Definitely to green and blue. Without a doubt. Do we want to level some of this maybe a little bit? And, or raise some of it and build something up top. Some sort of a lookout. We'll come back to that. I would love to see another coaster in this area here, and I'm not really thinking that it would be a water coaster. I would honestly put something like that over in this area. Just because this is kind of your water and surf themed area. You know what? I would say I think the park needs a good invert. So maybe we could do something over here. And I don't know, maybe we extend this a little bit and kind of build upon it. But we also have room for a coaster up top here if we wanted to do that. even by tying some of that together, but I want to try to preserve this kind of bay with the pirate stuff. Ah, it's getting a little tricky. Do it and a lazy river around it. Oh my gosh. I had enough difficulty with the one that we already have, so, yeah. This actually did end up coming out pretty well, so. Yeah, so I'm thinking a really good invert coaster could be kind of in this area. We've got the room for something small up top, but I mean, we have the Gerstlauer right next to it, so I don't know. This could be like a Lookout Bay restaurant or something like that. I thought you were gonna lose it live on air and stop throwing me, or tell me to stop throwing out ideas. You were strong and battled through it. I'm patient. So, yeah, maybe we make this another area of the park and kind of tie it. This could be an extension of the pirate-themed area, actually. It doesn't even have to be an invert. It's just, I think I would like to try to delineate that a little bit better from this. Yeah, and I think this right here was the right move, just by... Let's see what the scenery score for this ride is. 89%. Yeah, I was gonna say, with everything that we've done, it should be that high. Look at the guest count. That's actually really good. 32% for this. Another station in the cave. No, I don't think so, because we have the one here, and we have the one over here. It's actually a relatively short portion of track, so it would be too intermediate. What I think we could potentially do is build another transport ride over here. What I think we'll ultimately do is build out over this direction and tie the path back together over here, and maybe redo this bridge and have it come over this way rather than right here. This could leave us a little bit of room. Why have you got these trees right here? Let's clear those out. Yeah, we'll maybe extend the water out this way and pull this in a little bit. Give us a little more room to add some stuff right there. Lets you off at the queue for the new coaster, and exit drops you off on top where there's a souvenir shop and a restaurant. Ooh. Now, we've done that with a fair bit of buildings here, but I think we can pull something like that off. Yeah, coaster exit. Yep, I get you. Alright, so let's do this. I want to actually divide the boundary a little bit better. So we're gonna go in with large palms, turn that off, turn that down, bump that up just a little. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Let's go with small now. We may have added a few too many big trees. It seems to be struggling to place some of the smaller ones here. So be it. Litter him everywhere. Captain Planet over here. Alright, there we go. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do this now. So I'm going to pull these buildings away. Oh, they're not even attached to the shops and stuff. I'm going to pause. Alright, let's just do this real quick here. Because I want to make sure these are linked up. Yuck, toilets are so dirty. Well, they got cleaned just now. Come on. Alright, add to resort facilities. Same with that there. Alright, Latte Love attached to that. And Hot Dog Squad. That didn't fit. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's move that there. And we're actually going to run a wider bridge, I think. Well, no, it's a little bit cut off right there, so we'll do the regular width 8 that I've been using. Try to line it up right. Alright. Straight and angle snap is on. That's pretty good. Pair all of that up right there. Right back there is fine to leave that in place. And what we're going to do is a stamp. Let's go with 3. Or 2, maybe? And if we do that, and we change it to a 3, we'll actually have a reference to center everything. kind of like that right there. That's actually pretty good. And then we can just tie... Let's actually take that up. Go with curve and turn the angle snap off. And we can tie that in right to the middle of this. That's pretty good. And we can take that up now. And rather than this weird curve around, we can actually do just an extension here. We'll move these shops out of the way temporarily. We'll put that there. And we'll put that right there. And then we just tie this back in, like down here, over here. I think I like right here a little bit better. So let's do that, and that leaves us a little bit of room to add scenery in a couple buildings, maybe a restroom and a food or drink shop right there. They're all gonna respawn. That's fine. And I'm even wondering about possibly separating the water like, back over here and tying this in. I don't know. A little bit of a tough thought. Because we could really tie this together. It's part of the... Alright, yeah, tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna pause it again. Pull the water up. Build a flat bridge right there. Smooth that out a bit. And I think instead we'll actually have the water cut, like, right here. That's a pretty easy way to cut through all of that there. And we can just do a little bit of, well, if we want to leave that available for some shops and stuff, then we should probably... maybe kind of like that. Let me just add the water back in and see how that looks. Yeah, Well, we'd have to clean that up right there. But overall, that's doable. This actually gives us some room for a couple flat rides if we wanted to ride over here. And then potentially what we would do is run a path. Ooh. Might have to re-angle that a little bit. Or branch it off this way over here to come out to where we would develop the... I did not mean to do that there. So I'd have to think about how I want that all to fit together. We might be able to pull that off. That's funny. Yeah, so just kind of cleaning that up right there. And then, yeah, we'd have to see. I'd have to think about that. Kind of how I want all of that to fit together. Maybe another hexagon branch out that way. We definitely need to add some more pirate-themed stuff. That would probably be the next area that we could take care of. So. Alright, I'm gonna take a break for now. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you all hanging out, and I'm gonna do Flight Sim later this evening, and probably end it with Planet Coaster 2 again. Kind of the mid-late evening. But, we'll see exactly. But, yeah, this has been fun, getting some stuff done kind of earlier in the day, comparatively. So, hope you all enjoy the rest of the afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And we'll pick back up later. And as always, until then, take care, stay safe, we'll see ya.